to visit Dubai and you feel the lifestyle and everything. I mean, Canada is an amazing country, but
safety. Okay, which a lot of, now you're a young, beautiful woman working independent.
Remember before moving to Dubai that people were even questioning me like, do you need to cover? Can you wear a skirt? Can you have a glass of wine?
You know, there's a time where you couldn't have a drink during Ramadan. A lot of misconceptions of what Dubai is, especially in North America.
So happy that I'm back to Dubai. Also the comfort that it gives you as a working mom.
Well, you already said it. Number one, we now know, is India.
So if I have to think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would say number 5 might be Dubai is very open, it's very Western. For an end user or an investor, I think, I mean, for me, is the best option. I mean, it's also the biggest population in the world.
It is, and they have a lot of money. And speaking of the one who just had the wedding, the big wedding where Rihanna came, like Indians are extremely educational. They know where to put their money. They know how to create more money from using their money. So they're very, very smart people. What's up, guys? Rami Jamous here, and I am extremely excited today because I have not only my friend, my girl, not my girlfriend, sorry, Mo, my colleague and my partner, Esther. I love you so much, Miss Esther Idriss. You look beautiful as always. What's happening, girl?
All good, Rami. Thank you for your very warm welcome to your show.
You know, it's always a nice welcome when you're here, right? So, I mean, today it's crazy. We're going to talk about the top 10 nations, international buyers who spend the most money or purchase the most real estate in Dubai.
Yeah.
This stemmed, just so everybody knows, this came from a conversation that you had with one of your clients. And by the way, Esther's killing it right now. You're on fire. It's amazing to see. I'm so proud of you and what you're doing. You're really carrying a big load on your shoulder and you're doing extremely well.
Thank you so much.
So let's talk about the top 10, okay? The top 10 international countries that are purchasing in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
What do you think came in at number 10? And I'll give you a hint. I love this country because it's where I'm from.
Oh, gosh. It's Canadians.
Canada.
All right.
Canada came in. That's surprising. I couldn't believe it. I saw Canada on the list and I was kind of shocked. But now, you know, you had a conversation with your client the other day and he was talking about, you know, what's happening in Europe and everything, which we'll get to. But I was shocked by this. You know, I've had a lot of clients who've bought from Canada, right? But yeah, you know, it's pretty shocking to see that Canada's on the top 10 here.
No, definitely. I mean, I can imagine because I think also once you get to visit Dubai and you feel the lifestyle and everything, I mean, Canada is an amazing country, but as a point of investment, I think Dubai, even, you know, for being like a country up in the US and it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, you're right. And actually, because the rates being high there, cost of living's high right now, just the economy's it's in a low point right now, which is, you know, a big reason why I came to Dubai. Everything's just thriving. Right, let's get to number 9. Any guesses about number 9?
I have no idea.
No?
I could tell you number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but number 9 is a bit...
I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with murky. Turkey came in at number 9, which is also kind of shocking because, you know, you have a lot of people who are kind of torn right now, I guess, that are buying internationally. A lot of people are actually buying in Turkey as well. But I guess the price point in Dubai is still cheaper, you know, for people to purchase as opposed to Turkey. Now, you've been to Turkey, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah, and where do you think in Turkey is the hot spot that people would be buying? Would it be in Istanbul? Would it be outside in like the more upcoming areas?
I think will be more obviously Istanbul, which is the capital. No, not the capital actually, but it's like the business hub as well.
Right.
But as well, the beach places, beachfront always does great.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, obviously coming in at number 7, which honestly this might shock people, but I mean it's so weird that this number is 7, but the UAE is number 7 on the list.
Is it?
That's crazy because there's more international buyers than there is actual local buyers.
Local buyers.
Right? And I guess
that's also because the population is pretty small. It's mainly expats over here.
So what, you think it's because, you know, the population is actually less than international right now?
Yeah.
And it's expected to even grow higher?
I think the UAE has like 90% expats.
Yeah. 90%?
Yeah.
Which is a big number. We're getting close to what, 10 million in population now? 8 to 10 million?
In the UAE, yeah,
Total.
it would be around that number.
Right. Okay. Another shocking one. Man, I would never have thought this, but coming in at number 6 is another Middle Eastern country. Which one do you think it is?
Lebanon.
Yeah, Lebanon.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why do you think that is?
I mean, it's obviously also due to the political situation they're in right now.
Right.
You know, people want to save, make their assets safe and make the right investments. So
Right.
then Dubai, which is close to their home country still,
And
is a good
also,
option.
yeah, I guess. And also, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I guess the economy right now is not doing really well there right now at all, which, if you do have people with money from Lebanon, with a Lebanese passport, they're coming here to actually invest, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that is a shocking one. All right, let's get to number 5, Esther. What do we got?
So if I have to think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would say number 5 might be the Italians.
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, there you go again. Well, it's 2 in a row, Esther. Well done.
Yeah.
The Italians, yeah. And why do you think that is? I mean, you actually somebody who actually speaks Italian as well. You love going to Italy. Actually, this stemmed from a conversation that came with your client, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about what he was saying?
So my client actually he's Italian, a banker, but lived like his whole life in London. And he was explaining me a bit about the situation overall, not only in Italy, but overall in Europe.
Okay.
Which also isn't optimal right now. So yeah, people are looking to secure their money, have like safe investments,
Right.
and also because of tax reasons, because it's almost tax free here in the UAE. So
Right.
people look at their best options.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. That was actually number 6. So we'll get to number 5 now. Number 5 is another country, Arab-speaking country per se. Which one do you think that is?
Egypt.
Yes, Esther, you're on
I
fire.
did,
Did you memorize this list?
No,
You memorized. You're
of course
cheating. Frank, you think she's
I'm
cheating?
just very well
Is she cheating,
educated
Frank? I
on my
think she's cheating.
market.
Yeah, no. It goes to this speaks of your knowledge, and yeah, I have no doubt that you knew that because, to be honest, I didn't realize how many Egyptians were actually buying here until recently.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of Egyptian customers myself. Clients myself. There's tons of Egyptian realtors here that actually, that they tend to work with, obviously, because it's within their own country and their own market. So, that one is a little bit shocking, but not.
Yeah, there
that
is
it
also a
came so-
huge Egyptian population here in Dubai.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you think that these are investors or end users?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So let's get to number 4. Another language you speak.
The Germans.
No.
The French.
The French.
The French.
France. Amazing. Now
Okay.
this doesn't shock me.
I'm actually surprised if the Germans, because the Germans nowadays are also huge investors in Dubai.
Right.
So
Really?
not sure if they are coming in your 1, 2, 3 list, but
Well, you're just gonna have
as
to
a
wait and
matter
see.
of fact, yeah, I know that the Germans are also doing very well.
Well, I've had, I've been fortunate to have a lot of French clients. They are very structured in what they want and where they want to buy. They know exactly what it is they're looking for,
Yeah.
which kind of makes the transaction a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I love working with them. They're such great people. Very nice to deal with. All right, let's get to the next one. Now, this I'm not shocked. Obviously it's one of the biggest populations in the world. And they tend to buy tons of investment properties all over the world. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
Dubai is growing. Which country do you think that is?
This is number 4 or number 3?
This is number 4,
Number 4.
coming out of Asia.
Then it's definitely India.
No, you're wrong. It's China.
China.
China, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so China, clearly they they invest. And I know this from being from Toronto, Canada. They came in and they were buying pre-constructions or off-plan,
Yeah.
they were buying out buildings, right? So I think we're starting to see that trend here. Now they're starting to invest a lot more here. Dubai allows for a lot more, easy restrictions as far as verification of funds. AML, we just came off the gray list here in Dubai. I'm sure that they'll tighten up on certain things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
But also, I think that the Chinese have been for a long time in Dubai, like
Right.
one of the biggest investors.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's not shocking,
and
right?
worldwide. Yeah.
Have you had any Chinese clients?
No, so far
No,
not.
you haven't.
No.
They are very
They're very
easy.
specific also because
Exactly.
I think they also look for their own, language, their own people.
Right,
So.
but no. I've been fortunate to deal with Chinese. Even in
Okay.
Canada, I have a lot of Chinese clients. They're fantastic to deal with. They are one of the
good.
easiest cultures to deal with when it comes to knowing what they want.
All right,
They are
perfect.
so. It's such a pleasure to work with them, honestly. Okay, let's get to number 3 on the list, Esther. Give me a hint. I mean, give me a guess of what you think that is.
Number 3, I would say.
There's quite a few of them who work as agents. Maybe a couple in our office that are fairly new.
Okay, the British.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Yeah, the UK came in at number 3, which I guess, it's not quite shocking. I wish I could have Toby here to ask him. But I mean, yeah, people from the UK tend to buy a lot, right?
Yeah.
And the market, I guess, in the UK, it's also...
It's going down very, very rapidly.
And what else? It's quite expensive, no?
It's very expensive.
Exactly. So I think people, when they hear Dubai, they automatically think Dubai, it's super expensive, everything, it's not cheap. But when I compare it to cosmopolitan cities or, some of the top cities in the world, it's relatively cheaper.
Yeah, but it's also, the capital appreciation they get here compared to the UK, the rental incomes.
Right.
Plus it's Dubai is also like a business hub. So many people from Europe, from the UK, France,
Right.
the Netherlands, they bring their businesses to here and they just continue everything here.
Amazing. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not shocking that it came in at number 3, but, I didn't think that it would be that high, but I mean, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, the European countries are really strong nowadays.
They are. You're absolutely right.
UAE.
Definitely have a grip hold of the top 10, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's get to number 2. I mean, the next 2 should be easy.
I think number 2 is the Russians and number 1 the Indians.
Well, why'd you say number 1 already? We'll get to number 1 after.
Sorry. Oh, excuse me.
Always spoiling everything, Esther. All right, 2, let's talk about Russia. Russia, I think the money came in, during COVID, right?
Definitely.
Definitely came in during COVID.
And it stayed a bit longer during also the political situation.
Right.
But what I heard is that a lot of Russians who bought during COVID are also reselling their properties again.
Right now?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because they go back to their home country, they move to Asia,
Do you think
or they just made their money.
Do you think that they're investing that money in other countries, or do you think that they're reinvesting it in Dubai?
I hear a lot that a lot of Russians are nowadays also moving to Bali, to Asia, Thailand, Bali.
Okay. Now, it's funny that you say that. Now, like you've obviously, you have a lot of listings where it's predominantly Russian, area that, most of the people who live there, the residents are end users, Russians. Again, amazing people I've been fortunate enough to deal with. When I just transferred a deal with a mother and daughter on one, and again, they have everything in order. They're so structured and having everything in place.
Yeah, same.
Right? There's such quick transactions.
I also had indeed my Russian client. I mean, actually he's Ukrainian, but coming from Moscow.
Right.
And they're very straight to the point. A
Exactly.
bit like I think how I am myself, straightforward, everything in order, everything fast.
Right.
Not too many circles around one thing. The things are done how it should be done.
Right. Now, before we get to number 1, I just want to touch back on what your client was saying. Okay, so you said that you were talking to your client. This is how this whole top 10 came up. This is how we decided to talk about this today, right?
Okay.
Because it came from you with having iftar with one of your clients, and boom, you guys had a conversation, and it's a really good conversation actually, because to think about where Dubai is today.
Yeah.
And to actually imagine the amount of more international buyers and end users that are moving here, and at such a quick pace. It's insane.
Yeah.
People are saying this bubble's going to happen. I do not see it happening.
Definitely not.
No, it's so
the
busy.
client that I had my conversation with, for me was crucial because, you hear a lot around the market is going down, the small correction is coming.
Right.
Well, I can tell you, like from the feedback I hear from bankers coming from London, Italy, France, the Netherlands, everyone is willing to come and move to Dubai, to invest in Dubai. Prices keep on rising.
It's unreal.
If you see still, the off-plan projects, what are there, I mean, they're sold out within minutes, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Like, these are facts. And
it's crazy.
And we see the line standing of people, with the check in their hand.
It's nuts.
Like,
it's nuts.
It's nonsense.
I think that's will separate, the clients who do that are, obviously a lot of Indians, a lot of Russians, a lot of Europeans are doing this. I think going back to 10 with Canadians, they're a little bit more liberal in how they spend their money. I think they're so used to mortgaging, right? Yeah. Having a mortgage on their properties, where as opposed to a lot of, other like Chinese, Russians, again, they come here and they buy these. They're paying cash for these. Mm-hmm. A lot of them have nice payment plans, but they're coming in and buying in bulk.
Yeah.
They're not buying one, they're buying 5, they're buying 6,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
It's insane, but I mean, it's fantastic for the economy. Here, it continues to thrive.
Yeah.
Now.
And that's my own point, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
It's also like, we have been living in Dubai for 5 years.
Right.
Then we moved back to London for 2 years.
Yeah.
And we happily came back last year. Why?
Right.
Because the lifestyle Dubai, I mean the UAE in general, offers to people, it's just unbelievable.
It's unreal.
Honestly, waking up every day with the sun in your hat.
It's crazy.
With a safe lifestyle, with all the comfort, with the simple things, the education for the kids,
and
the
can you touch on that?
activities.
Actually, you said something. You said the safety. Okay, which a lot of, you're a young, beautiful woman working independent. You have a fantastic, such a beautiful family. Your husband Mo's a great guy. Your kids are beautiful. You have a great life here. Can you touch on that for a lot of people who don't know how safe and how it is for a woman? Because there's a lot of misconceptions of what Dubai is, especially in North America.
Yeah.
So
I remember before moving to Dubai that people were even questioning me, like, do you need to cover? Can you wear a skirt? Can you have a glass of wine? And I was like, guys, I don't know how you see Dubai, but Dubai is very open. It's very Western. It's pretty, free. You can do whatever. You can be whoever you want to be.
Right, exactly.
I think that idea that people
even
used
now
to have.
during Ramadan. We were just saying
yeah.
it. There's a time where you couldn't have a drink during Ramadan. You couldn't. They would cover the windows, and
exactly.
And everything was completely right. It's not
completely.
like that. It's one of the most beautiful countries in the world. I think.
Yeah.
I think
and I really see it from the bottom of my heart. I am so happy that I'm back to Dubai.
Yeah.
Also the comfort that it gives you as a working mom, for example. We have a lovely a nanny at home who can, looks after the kids for not a massive, salary that in Europe you would pay like a 2,000-3,000 euro a month. That still gives someone also
cost
the ability to go and work and to still be a mom, a working mom. The kids have great education, like weekends that you spend here feel like holidays. Right. You go to the beach. It's just the complete picture. So for obviously for an end user or an investor, I think, for me, is the best option worldwide that you can have.
Okay. Well, you already said it. Number one, we now know, is India.
Yeah.
Now, does that surprise you?
No, definitely. It's also the biggest population in the world.
It is, and they have a lot of money, and they are. You talk about some of the billionaires in the world, and speaking the one who just had the wedding, the big wedding where Rihanna came, and you look at some of Emirates Hills. They own the majority of the properties there. Yeah. I was fortunate enough to have a listing there, and it was owned by an Indian gentleman, and he owned more than one. And these are properties that range from anywhere from 35 million up to 400 or 500 million maybe in that area now.
No, their properties are massive, and the money that they can invest is also mind blowing.
Yeah, they are invested heavily in some of the most thriving businesses in the world. Yeah. Like Indians are extremely educational. They know where to put their money. They know how to create more money from using their money. Yeah. So they're very, very smart people. They do their research before they invest. I was fortunate enough to grow up with a lot of Indians as well in Canada as well, whose families were all fairly wealthy, right? So I know that for facts, but yeah, in Dubai, it's crazy to see how much of an influence they have here, because they might be the largest population here outside of anybody else, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And very humble people as well. Very nice to work to talk to and to deal with. No,
I agree 100%.
So I mean, that's the top 10 list, Esther.
Okay, well, some nationalities were surprising, where others
what was the biggest
obvious.
surprise to you think?
I think Turkey was a nice surprise, a good surprise.
Yeah, me was Canada for sure. But now that I know that, I will be spending a lot more time selling to Canadians.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, the market also for me is great, as you know, a lot of Europeans are coming.
Right.
I mean, it's
Well, listen, I appreciate you doing this. I love you so much.
Thank
you're
you
my girl.
so much for having me,
No
Rami.
problem.
Really,
I'm so glad, and I'll get you on here again.
Interesting podcast.
Thank
I
you,
learned
love.
some new things today.
Thank you, love. This
Wish
was
you all the
fantastic.
best.
All right, well,
Thank you.
Rami Jamous signing off.